A squat isn't just an exercise, it's a normal human movement, and we should all be able to do one. If you're not able to stand in the middle of an open room and come down like this and come back up like that with very little effort and no pain, then you do not have a squat pattern. And that's what this video is about, is to help restore your squat pattern. Now, the stance, if you will, where you put your feet when you squat is a separate video. For right now, I'm going to assume you know yours. If you don't know, more than likely it will be with your feet a little wider than your shoulders and your toes turned out a little, okay? If nothing else, we can start from there. Now, whether your limit is you don't feel like you can go very far, or it feels like you're lifting 1,000 pounds, or it hurts, the solutions are often the same. So regardless of your problem, try one of these and go with the one that feels best for you. The easiest way to start, I think, is with some sort of a heel lift. So what I'm going to use is a half roller to act like a wedge, but you could use anything you have. I have people in a gym just use a small weight plate and put their heels on the weight plate. You can have a magazine. I've done it in a pinch with a folded towel. So use what you have available to you and just raise it up maybe half an inch or an inch. This is more than what I need, but it's what I have with me, so that's what I'm using. So I'm gonna have my feet a little wider than my shoulders, my toes turned out a little bit, and then I'll squat down and stand up, okay? Now, with all of these, when I say squat down, what I want you to think is that you're pulling yourself down towards the ground. So I'm not gonna just acquiesce to gravity and try to control myself. I'm going to actively pull myself down and then actively push the ground away. Pull, push, okay? That's showing with a heel lift. Another option is with a counterbalance. And the easiest counterbalance is to hold a dumbbell or two. If you don't have dumbbells, go into your pantry, grab a can of food, one for each side. They don't even have to match, okay? Just something to give you a little counterbalance out in front. So take your squat stance, stick your counterbalance out in front, pull yourself down, and then push yourself away. Pull yourself down, and then push yourself away. If you're still not comfortable, you can combine both. So I will have a heel lift with my stance and a counterbalance and get even more assistance if that's what it takes. Now, another option can be to help your body recruit muscles that it's not recruiting very well now. And most of the time, those live in your butt. And so the butt muscles we're looking for are essentially one of two groups. One's that control side to side, and one's that control rotation. I'll show you the rotation one. I'm gonna take a mini band that you'll have to buy, performbetter.com, super easy, super inexpensive, and I'm gonna put it around my feet. So it's just gonna go around the top of my foot, both sides. So now the band is trying to clap my feet together, but not directly together because it's on my toes. It makes my toes wanna go together. So now I have to use those, call them external rotators in my hip to just hold my feet here. So now I'll do everything else the same. If you want to counterbalance, you can. I'll just put my hands here and I'm going to think to pull myself down and then push myself up. This forces my butt muscles to work a little bit more than before, because if they don't, my feet will do that, okay? So now my feet are turned out against the band. I can feel my muscles working, and I pull myself down and I push myself up. If that didn't work, I would just take the band, bring it up to my knees, and everything else is the same. I'll get my same stance. I'll have the band around my knees, making my knees want to collapse together, so my butt muscles have to push apart. And my push apart part of my butt muscles will do the work and then bring it back. And of course, you can combine that with the other things that you've seen. I have had to put a band around someone's knees with a heel lift and a counterbalance to get them to squat fully, comfortably for the first time. But the cool thing is your body adapts relatively quickly. So after a relatively short period of time, maybe a couple, 3 days, one of your levels of assist will go down or go away entirely. Which one? Is trial and error. Take away your heel lift, see how you do. Do you go to the same depth? Do you have the same comfort? Cool, you don't need it anymore. Or if you still need it, put it back, try with a smaller weight or no weight at all. Just have your hands out in front of you and see how that goes. And so on down the line. And eventually you'll have no counterbalance, no heel lift, no rubber band, and down you go. Now, if you have none of these things, I want you to think about a door. Now imagine there's a door and I'm going to open it like so. So the door opens and closes like this. So the skinny part of the door is right there. I'm going to turn and face that door, and I'm going to have that door this close to me. I'm going to squeeze the handles of the door as hard as I can, and then I'm going to pull myself down. I'm not going to water ski behind the door, I'm just holding on to it. Now, what that does is it gives your hands something to squeeze, and it gives your subconscious brain knowledge there's no way you're going to fall. And so I squeeze that, pull myself down, and then push myself away. If you cheat and use your arms, you're going to bang your head against the door and you're going to get a little lesson. So obviously don't do that. When you get good at this, crush the handle, pull yourself down, let go with one hand and come up, crush with both, pull yourself down, let go with the other hand and come up, and eventually crush the hand of the doorknob, pull down, let go with both hands and come up, and that might be the level of assistance that gets you to where you can really own your squat pattern. But don't even think about putting load on it until you actually own the movement. We don't want to put fitness on top of dysfunction. So let's clean up your squat pattern, try those. Any variety of those things might work well with you. You're welcome to interchange them, but recognize you should be able to squat fully pain-free. If that doesn't work, give me a message and I'll help you customize to what your needs are. But this is something you should be able to do.